All right, so get this. The average teenager apparently spends like over 7 hours a day on social media.
Wow.
7 hours.
That's a lot.
It's crazy, right?
Yeah.
I mean, think about how much time you spend scrolling. Right?
Yeah, it's a lot more than I'd like to admit.
Right.
Yeah.
Today, we're gonna really do a deep dive
Uh-huh.
into the effects of all that social media on the brain.
Yeah, I'm fascinated by this stuff.
So using the research we've got, like we're gonna figure out what all those likes and those notifications are actually doing, like to your brain chemistry.
Yeah, it all comes down to dopamine, doesn't it?
Yeah, tell me about that.
Well, it's pretty interesting. Social media, it really kind of taps into our reward system,
Okay.
specifically by like triggering this release of dopamine.
Okay.
And, that's the neurotransmitter, right?
Right.
Associated with pleasure, motivation, all that good stuff.
So it's like every time we see like a notification,
Exactly.
our brain's just like, woo!
Hit me. That little dopamine rush, right?
Yeah, yeah. Makes us crave more and more and more.
It's like a slot machine,
Oh, that's a really good analogy.
But instead of pulling the lever, we're just refreshing our feeds constantly.
Yeah. Have you ever found yourself checking your phone when, like, you don't even need to?
All the time.
Right. It's like, that's your reward system
Yeah.
saying, hey, check it again. Maybe there's something there.
It's really, these platforms are just designed to keep us hooked. That's how they make money.
Yeah.
And, this whole cycle of like validation seeking.
Right.
It can be a little bit slippery.
Yeah.
It can lead to some real downsides.
Oh, okay. Let's talk about that then. Like the elephant in the room.
Yeah.
Which is, the potential for like negative mental health impacts.
Absolutely.
Right? Obviously, like social media can be a great tool to connect with people, to build community.
Sure. Yeah.
But like, how do we balance that with the potential risks?
That's the million-dollar question. There's some interesting research from UCLA, actually,
Oh, okay.
that shows a pretty direct link between heavy social media use
Okay.
and higher rates of anxiety and depression in young adults.
Makes sense.
And it's understandable, right? We're constantly seeing all these images of these perfect lives,
Right.
the perfect vacations, the perfect bodies, the perfect food.
Yeah. It's hard not to compare.
It leads to that FOMO, the fear of missing out.
Ugh, I hate that feeling.
We've all been there, haven't we?
Yeah, totally. Like you see those perfect vacation photos, those amazing meals.
Right.
And you're just sitting there like in your normal life.
Stuck in the daily grind.
Yeah.
And it's so easy to fall into that trap, right?
It is.
Of comparing yourself to these, highlight reels.
It's like everyone's trying to present the best version of themselves online.
Totally.
Even if like it's not even real.
And that's the problem, isn't it?
It is.
I mean, we're comparing ourselves to this like unrealistic standard.
Totally.
And that can really mess with your self-esteem, make you feel inadequate.
For sure. And then there's the whole cyberbullying thing.
Oh, don't even get me started.
So prevalent, right?
It's rampant.
Especially on certain platforms. It's like the anonymity of the internet gives people this weird courage.
Yeah.
To just say awful things they would never say to someone's face.
It's true.
And those negative interactions online, like they have a real impact on us.
Oh, yeah.
It's not just like feeling bad in the moment.
Right.
Like it can really contribute to longer-term mental health issues.
Absolutely. I mean, we're social creatures, right?
Yeah.
We need positive interaction.
Yeah, we do.
And when we're constantly getting negativity thrown at us online,
It really messes us up.
it can really take a toll.
And it's not even just our emotions.
Right.
Like social media can actually mess with our focus, our productivity.
It's a huge distraction.
It is. Think about like how many times you've been trying to concentrate on something, like work or schoolwork or whatever,
Yeah.
and then ping, a notification pops up.
Oh, I hate that.
And then you check it, you start scrolling for a couple minutes, and suddenly like an hour's gone.
And you've gotten nothing done.
Nothing. It's like a distraction loop.
It is a total distraction loop. And, all that task switching,
Yeah,
it actually makes it harder to focus in the long run.
really.
Yeah, because our brains just aren't wired to multitask effectively.
It's like our brains are being pulled in a million directions at once.
Exactly.
And then on top of that, you've got the blue light from our screens.
Oh, the blue light.
Right.
The silent killer.
Yeah, tell me about that.
Well, blue light suppresses melatonin production.
Oh.
Right. Melatonin's that hormone that regulates our sleep-wake cycle.
Right.
So even if you're just like on your phone for a few minutes before bed, it can really mess with your sleep quality.
Okay. So you're saying like staying up late, scrolling through Instagram
It's exactly.
may seem harmless,
Yeah.
but it's actually making it harder to Fall asleep, stay asleep, and generally feel rested.
Exactly. And, when you're sleep deprived, it has this domino effect.
Yeah.
It impacts everything, your mood, your cognitive function, your physical health.
It's all connected.
It's all connected.
So, okay, this is starting to sound kind of doom and gloom,
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, are we just doomed? Are we all just slaves to the algorithm?
I don't think so.
Is there any hope?
Absolutely, there's hope.
Okay, good.
I mean, the key is to develop a healthier relationship with social media.
Okay.
It's not about, quitting cold turkey.
Right.
It's about using it wisely, intentionally.
Okay, so how do we do that? Where do we even start?
Well, I think a good first step is setting boundaries.
Okay.
Think of it as building a fence around your time and attention.
Oh, okay, I like that.
Right. You can start by designating certain times of day or even places where you're completely unplugged.
Like no phones at the dinner table.
Exactly.
Which honestly is probably a good rule for everyone.
It really is.
Not just for, social media addicts.
Right. And, there's all sorts of apps and features on your phone
Oh, yeah.
that can help you limit your daily screen time.
Oh, interesting.
You can set, daily limits for specific apps or even just block them entirely during certain hours.
So it's like having a little digital guardian angel.
Exactly.
I like it. What other strategies are there? What else can we do?
Another really powerful tool is curating your feed.
Oh, okay.
Take a look at the accounts you're following.
Yeah.
And just ask yourself,
Right.
are these accounts adding value to my life?
Right?
Are they inspiring me? Are they educating me? Are they making me laugh?
Yeah.
Or are they just stressing me out, making me feel inadequate, envious?
So it's like a social media cleanse, but for your mental health.
Exactly. Unfollow those accounts that just bring you down and replace them with accounts that uplift you, inspire you.
I like that. So it's about being intentional about the information we're consuming.
Absolutely. Even online.
Yeah, even online.
Speaking of intention, have you ever heard of mindful scrolling?
Mindful scrolling, what's that?
So before you just automatically reach for your phone
Yeah.
out of boredom or habit, just pause for a second
Okay.
and ask yourself, why am I doing this? What am I hoping to get out of this?
Oh, right. That's a good point. I think sometimes we just scroll mindlessly
We do.
without even realizing what we're doing.
It's a habit. It's like a nervous tick almost.
It is. So if we're more mindful about our motivations,
Yeah.
maybe we can break those habits, those automatic habits.
And make more conscious choices about how we're spending our time.
It's not just about reducing screen time then.
No, it's about quality over quantity.
Right. It's about, being more intentional with the time that we do spend online.
Exactly. And sometimes, honestly, the best thing you can do is just step away entirely.
Really?
Yeah, schedule regular social media detox days or even a whole weekend.
Oh, I love that idea.
Just completely unplug.
Like a brain vacation.
Exactly. And reconnect with the offline world.
Okay, I can get behind that.
Yeah.
And you know what else is important?
What's that?
Really nurturing those real-life connections.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, social media can be a great way to stay in touch with people.
Right.
But nothing can replace face-to-face interactions.
Yeah, there's something so special about actually spending time with people in person.
Right. Sharing meals, having conversations, making memories.
It's different.
It's totally different.
So use social media as a tool to connect, but make sure you're prioritizing those real-life interactions too.
And don't forget about offline hobbies.
Well,
find things that you enjoy doing that don't involve a screen.
Like reading.
Reading, yes.
Playing sports, learning an instrument, volunteering.
Joining a book club.
The possibilities are endless.
They really are. Those offline activities, they help us recharge, de-stress, and tap into our creativity.
In ways that social media just can't.
Right.
Okay, so it sounds like social media isn't inherently bad.
No, not at all.
It can be a powerful tool.
Right. You can.
For communication, connection, even learning.
Yeah.
But like any tool, you got to use it wisely.
Intentional.
You got to be intentional.
Absolutely.
I like that.
Which brings us to, sort of a final question for you.
Okay, hit me.
If you think about your own social media habits, what's one thing you could change today to better protect your brain, your focus, your happiness?
That's a good question. I think I'm going to have to think about that one.
Yeah, it's worth pondering.
It is.
We all have room for improvement.
Yeah, we do. Well, thank you so much for joining us on this deep dive. I know I learned a lot.
Me too. It's always a pleasure.
And remember, Knowledge is power.
Absolutely.